Okay. Okay, I'm gonna wait for everybody to get on. So I'm gonna turn on some music and wait for Jesse to get on here. So just give me a couple minutes or seconds. Hey, there's Jesse.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you? It's so nice to see you.
I'll be honest, I'm a little tired.
Well, you know what? After having a webinar like you did last night, that's understandable.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, there's great people. So.
Well, like I said on there last night, I mean, this thing has evolved into something way bigger than I imagined, but it's directly proportionate to who I've surrounded myself with.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
isn't that true with like, I had no idea my business would take on the life that it did because it was just me doing something I loved. And then it was like, what in the world just happened? And you have to grow into the person who is capable of handling it all.
yeah, it's kind of like beyond your wildest dreams sometimes, right? I mean, it's not like you imagined certain things. I think some things just kind of naturally progress, but if it's all based on value and being real and actually wanting to help people, it attracts that, I think.
Yeah, people see that for sure. Of course, I get a phone call right now when we're starting the webinar. So everyone kind of takes their sweet time getting on, but
I know. Yeah, okay. It's like going to the hairstylist. Never get there on time.
Or it's funny. I sing at our church, and service starts at 11:02, and you get on stage and you have your mic and you're all excited to sing. It's empty, and by the end of the first 10 minutes, it's packed. And it's just like, what in the world? All of a sudden, there's tons of people. So
yeah, you know what? That's true too. People never get to church on time.
No.
Yeah, and these calls, you're right.
They're getting coffee and they're getting donuts.
Yeah, you're right. For us, we're dropping our kid off in the church daycare.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So it's funny because we're like, oh my gosh, it's dead. Give it a couple minutes. Give it a couple minutes. So,
I like your kitchen.
We just moved here.
Yeah.
I can't show you everything because I'm having a retreat and I forgot I decorated. So my team's going to be on the call and some of them are traveling here and I don't want to mess it up. Yeah, we just moved here 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So the world has not seen my house yet.
What? Where are you at?
We live. I can see Destin, Florida. So
okay.
Okay, I'll go ahead. This is a nice little.
Give me a tour.
What I get to look at every day.
Well, that doesn't suck.
Doesn't suck.
No. Is there a lot of places that have indoor pools like that in Florida?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but you have, looks like it's all windows, huh?
So a lot of windows, that's all screen outside, but this is all glass. And then there's a big, guys, I have 2 dogs who just want to be like on me.
Oh, really? I have 2 as well, 2 min pins.
This is a glass window.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
This is the most fun hangout I've ever had.
Want to go on a tour of my house?
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. My wife would be so jealous.
Well, it's the house that Beachbody built. We'll just say that.
Yeah, well, we're working on our dream home. We're working on ours for in the mountains in Colorado here.
See, my husband and I had to fight about that because he would love to have a ski house, but we're stationed here, and so we're going to live here. We'll work on that later.
Well, we're going to live in Evergreen, Colorado, which is about an hour from, Vail and Aspen and all that. So we're going to probably get a nice place. And if you guys ever want to visit, you're more than welcome to.
Thank you. We actually have a family house in Aspen. So
okay.
We can all hang out.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm hoping to raise my daughter on the ski hills.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. They're saying it's the wrong link.
Well, you sent me the this is
presenter link.
Yep, this is the presenter link, and then if you want to send it to them, it's in the bottom corner.
Yeah, I got it. I sent it to them, but just make.
We're not live yet, so.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, yeah.
We're live. Get away.
Oh, I see. We are now. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, I'm fixing it. I gave everybody the link, but we'll fix it everywhere. There's always. Sorry, my puppies like to go right underneath me and fight.
Yeah, like I said, I got 2 min pins, and they're always hanging out.
There's always some technical difficulty. It doesn't matter like what you do. You could be like so planned and so
Oh, it's out of our control, Lauren. I had almost 1,000 people on the call last night, and I had Google Hangouts messing up.
That's what this is. This is Google Hangout.
Yeah, and it was going in and out. I think Google's having some streaming issues lately.
Yeah, everything is running a little slow. I will say that. And I just bumped up my whole internet to like the mega, whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely not your bandwidth. It's Google. Because I went and looked at my streaming. I was so nervous before we broadcast last night.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Because you got all these people on that want to learn more about the training, and then if it completely bombs as far as the connection, it doesn't do me any favors.
Yeah.
We actually crashed our server last night.
I heard that. That's
yeah.
Okay. Because that messed up, I'll make sure that
Do you want us to log out and come back in maybe?
No, everybody's coming. I've made sure everyone has the right link. I just want to make sure where'd you guys go? There you are. Yeah. The views like stalled out at 18. Now everyone's getting on. So
okay.
This is better. I was like, nothing's happening. There's like 18 people out of our 3 huge teams. So that's not right. We'll just vamp for a while, talk about living.
Yeah, well, do you guys do these calls weekly?
We do on Wednesdays. Alyssa Shoemaker, Brandy Botts, and I kind of saw the value in shared leadership, and the way Alyssa leads is different than the way I lead and the way Brandy. And so it's really cool to mix it all up and come up with topics that each of our teams would like to discuss, or just something that we feel is necessary, and put together webinars. So we rotate, but then, we want to have our leaders step up and lead calls and get used to it, and then bring in guest speakers like you, and just really add a lot of value to our teams.
Yeah, it's a lot of work when you're at the top, isn't it? As far as when you go up there, I've noticed you guys have to do a ton of calls. But
you can choose to, or you can choose not to, and it's funny because those coaches who choose to invest in their teams, they grow.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence. No, and we do that even in the training. I mean, we do a ton of hangouts, and we try to, just like everything, you want to over deliver in value, and really wow people.
Yeah,
you're going to get good results.
It seems to be doing that, and I know I shared the webinar. I know that Alyssa and Brandy did as well, and the teams are just like jumping on, and it's exciting. It seems like the timing was right for a lot of people that I know. They're just like ready to get started with your training. So,
well, we're doing a lot at the beginning now with helping people tell their story, and helping them kind of get out of their comfort zone, because it's it's hard. It's not easy when you're kind of exposing yourself on social media and being vulnerable. But that's what, and I show specific examples, but that's what works. Being real and being who you are, talking about everyone has a journey, everyone has scars, and kind of just being who you are. Because I've had so many people just tell me that, they've had people reach out to them and say, for example, I left my abusive husband because of a post that you inspired me by. Yeah. Nothing to do with Beachbody, but just realizing they're making a difference.
Yeah.
And inspiring someone else, because you never know who's reading your posts.
Yeah, and it's just like something you said really gave me the confidence and the strength to do something, and you're just like, I really didn't know that I had an effect on any.
Well, it looks like you paused.
I thought we crashed it.
Well, you were in an animated state there for a second, okay. But it came back. Yeah, that's pretty common for Hangouts lately.
Ugh, what a pain in the butt. Okay, so we have 70 viewers. We're going to go ahead and get started. We are live before this crashes again. So just going to hurry up. Hey, guys. So we've been talking for 8 minutes now, just kind of vamping while everybody got on. But my name's Lauren Duke, so this is Regan, and Jesse has really just taken like pages and Facebook, and he has a lot of experience with Facebook and social media marketing, specifically on Facebook, and he started a social team builder site, and it just has taken off. It's really exciting. If you weren't on the live webinar last night learning more about his training, he's going to probably talk about it a little bit today and talk about the value of your like page and what's possible with it. And he does have training that he is offering. It opened up last night, so that's something that you want to take advantage of like I did, and a lot of people on our team. I'm really excited to learn more so that I can share with my teams, because a lot of the time as coaches, it's information for us, but we need to be paying that forward, and we need to be giving that information to our teams, because that is leadership. So Jesse has helped over 1,000 coaches with their like pages, and he teaches people how to get started and have positive results. So I know this is valuable. I know a lot of you have been frustrated with your like pages and maybe like just not even touched them. So now is the time to dust those things off and get excited about really reaching out. And what is it you say, where cold traffic becomes hot leads? I like that, because a lot of us are like, I don't even know how to tap into my cold market. So this is what we're going to talk about today, guys. So get excited.
Well, awesome. I'm just going to start off then. And first of all, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. Let me get my screen share fired up. And Lauren, if you want, just interrupt me if people have questions. I can talk forever. So
guys, if you have questions, post them on your team pages, and we will get them to Jesse, okay?
Cool. All right, yeah, and like I said, feel free to interrupt or whatever if you want. I'm going to just go over right now just top 10 ways for you guys to get more like page engagement. This is just easy, free stuff that you can do on your page that's going to make a difference. Because I have looked at, and like Lauren said, I've worked with over 1,000 coaches, and I have a lot of experience with social media marketing, especially with Facebook. Even beyond just, coaching and training, we do a lot. So we walk the walk, and I have a lot of experience just by, let's just say Mark Zuckerberg knows me pretty well because I've helped his bank account, and I've tested a lot of stuff, and I've spent a lot of money on advertising, and I learned ways to do it right, and with just how to really tap into Facebook's algorithm and get more engagement. So the first thing, and you guys definitely take notes on this, always think about who you're speaking to. And I say always, again, because it's super important. You're going to hear me reiterate this a lot during this presentation here, and you're going to see some commonalities that we have with some of the posts, but I'm going to break down little parts of it. But to begin, I want you guys to always be thinking about what you're trying to articulate. Don't just get some posts out to say, well, I got 3 done today, I'm all good. I would rather have you do one really good one than 3 quick ones that are just trying to get it out, because your message is extremely important. What you're trying to articulate and who you can connect with, because like we said earlier when we were chatting, you never know who is reading your post. You never know who you're going to connect with. So treat every post like you are making a difference in someone's life and in a way to provide more value. So, and this is why I put this little imaginary person here, because you never know, even if someone's not commenting or liking or sharing one of your posts, it doesn't mean they're not seeing it. We've had numerous people say, you know what, I've never actually said anything, but I follow your stuff, and I really appreciate that, and what you posted earlier was really powerful to me. It really connected with me, and that's what we're wanting to do here. We want to connect with our audience. The goal here is not to think, how many sales can I make? How many challenge pack sales can I get? How many coaches can I bring in? You need to think about it as, how can I connect with someone and start meeting new people? How can I get new relationships? How can I get something into a private message? Because that's what we want, because there's a huge surplus out there for all of us. There is no limit to how big we can grow our pages, the like pages, and there's no limit to how many new people we can meet. You can't have enough friends in life. So here's a big thing that I see a lot of people doing incorrectly. If I go to some of your like pages right now, I'm willing to bet it looks a little bit like a Pinterest board, which is what you don't want. You don't want, when you look at those little 9 photos on the left side, if I see a lot of quotes that you just took somewhere from Google or Pinterest and you just put them on there to get your post done, that is not the way you want to do it. And I'll show you some good examples. Here's Jenny Ryerson. She's actually from my training. She is really good example of how to do it right. She has a lot of really good animated faces, and she posts really good pictures and stuff like that. She has her style. You know it's Jenny. You know these are hers, and she puts all of her. So like, say you have a good quote that you like, rather than just posting it and copy and pasting it from something, why don't you take your picture, and it doesn't have to be anything professional. You can just use your phone for everything, which I actually recommend. Professional does not do as well on Facebook, believe it or not. Just being real is what people want to see, because that's what will connect with people. And then just put the quote right on there. That's simple, it's easy, and anyone can do that. And then if that goes viral, it will be your face on there that people remember. Here's one of my daughter. And my wife does this really good, or really well. She puts, uses pictures of our daughter, pictures of herself. Occasionally I'll be in one of them, but more importantly, we have faces on there. And this is part of her page. Obviously my daughter is a big part of our life, and my wife shares that on her page. My wife's not a Beachbody coach. She's a life coach. She's a personal trainer. She does more high ticket stuff. But the concepts are all exactly the same. It's relationship marketing. You want to have people feel like they are a part of your family. They feel like they know you, and there's a connection there. So it's really easy stuff that doesn't get done enough. You just need to take a little bit of extra time. You can use some apps like the Rona app. Watermark, I think, is one. And you can just Google it or ask someone else. If you see someone that has really good looking photos with some nice text, or just certain styles, just ask them what they're using. You can also go to sites like canva.com or PicMonkey and edit your photos right there for free.
Hey, Jesse.
Yeah.
The slides aren't advancing.
They are on my end.
Okay. We have a couple people who are saying they can't see the slides. Like, we can just see the top 10 ways to get more page engagement. So maybe there's something. Oh, now it moved.
So you can see all of the things on there now when I
just see always think about who you're speaking to.
Okay. Is it on the full screen, or you can't see anything on the left?
No, they just weren't advancing. Like, we could see the screens on the left, but they weren't showing up in the big screen when you were talking about them. So
let's try it again. I'll just kind of go through in advance and tell me if you guys can see it.
Okay.
I'm clicking ahead right now. No?
Nothing changes for me, but I am going to.
How about now?
Tell him to click the play button on the PowerPoint and then click through, is what Brandy said.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, I'm going through and clicking it normally. It's got to be a Hangout thing.
Yeah, it just seems like we have some craziness happening.
Yeah. Like I said, I had this happen to me last night too. So I think Google's having some streaming issues right now, unfortunately. You guys, it's still paused on my screen because I'm definitely clicking around.
Now I see the face with the question mark. It's just really, really slow, I think. But if we could get, I don't know if you would be willing to give us the slide presentation to share, as, I don't know if you're willing to do that.
I don't care. Yeah. I have never gotten in trouble for providing too much information.
Okay. Then great. I feel like if you keep going and recording, then people can follow along at a later time. So sorry, I won't interrupt again.
Okay, so I can just send these to you afterwards?
That'd be great. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll try to talk through it, and I'll assume nobody can see what I'm seeing.
Gotcha. Good.
As I'm going through. So it'll take away a little bit from the presentation, but
the small ones on the side. So we just
can.
Large. Yeah, I can see the small, but it wasn't advancing. So you were talking about like slides that we couldn't see on the left. So if you roll that up, then that might help a little bit.
Okay. Darn Google, taking away from all my mojo. Of course, I wish this is the stuff that, like we said, is frustrating because it's out of our control. But you know what? That's reality. I mean, Facebook has stuff that happens when they update things in the Power Editor, other things that really kind of make things wonky for a day or two, and there's nothing we can do about it. So maybe I will try let me just try not screen sharing, and then I'll come back in just to see. Here, I tell you what, let me, I'll send you in a private message right now, I'll send you these slides, okay?
Okay.
And get it all over to everybody.
Okay.
And then just so everyone has it. Let me save it on my desktop. All right.
Technical glitch, guys. All 81 of you on. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry about this.
Well, it might work now. I have you selected as the presenter again, but I'd taken you off to talk to you, but.
All right, well, let's just try again, and if it doesn't, I'll pass it over to you here. All right, let me just quickly try to start from this top. I'm gonna, and then if you guys cannot see it, then we'll figure out something, and I'll make sure everyone gets the information for sure. Okay, so you can see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm gonna hit from the beginning. Can you see that I advanced to number 1 here?
No.
No, okay.
It's okay. Just.
All right, let me just pass it over then. It'll take me 2 seconds. It will completely help the presentation by me doing it.
Okay, it advanced, but it took a few seconds. So it's not immediate. There's a delay. So.
Okay, here, I'm just gonna pass it to you quick.
I swear that any other day, if you're just making a video for your team, no issues. But on the day that there's like a really cool webinar, gremlins, everything, gremlins.
Oh, I know. Well, like I said, last night we had hundreds of people on, and I was really nervous. So, all right. All right, there you go. I'll still do the recording here. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna start from where I'm at with show your face. And Lauren, you're still there?
You're killing me because I keep muting myself and going to different windows, and I have to find you again.
I just wanted to make sure. Should I just start from here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll just start from here, and I'm just going to show kind of what we're doing, and I'll keep these slides open on the side. Maybe you guys can see them while we're moving forward, just to at least get a thumbnail version of what I'm speaking about. Again, this is Jenny Ryerson. She uses her face all over on all of her pictures, which is what you guys want to get in the habit of. One thing we teach really heavily inside of the training is to be vulnerable, be real. Don't try to be some, professional at anything. When you try to do something you're not, it's not going to do well on Facebook. But if you just be you and, be you all the time and don't change anything about you, but just be, be a bigger you as far as, be more public on your page, it'll make a difference. Like I said, here's one my wife uses. We use our daughter in a lot of the images because, you know, obviously she's a big part of our lives. And, you know, as I mentioned before, with, you know, family and stuff like that, you want people to feel like they're part of your household. They know what's going on. You know, they know your journey. That's really important. And then just using your face on all your images, or not all of them, but a lot of them, will help people to connect with you. You know, make sure they can see your eyes, because the eyes are super important on Facebook, obviously. All right, so on here, this is something I go over and cover heavily in the training as well, but sharing your story and just being, whoops, I spelled vulnerable wrong. Being vulnerable. You know, just being real, being who you are. Here's an example. This is somebody in the training, Jessie Burr. She was on the webinar last night. She helps me a lot. She volunteers her time to help others because she really believes in what we're doing. And she has a really good transformation story. And hers is kind of a weight loss journey. She talks about, you know, where she was a few years ago and where she's at now. And, you know, how, you know, being with Beachbody and you know, all the weight she's lost and just being healthier has made her a better person. But the cool part about it is, and you know, this is the challenge that a lot of people face. All right, well, I talked about my weight loss journey. What else should I talk about? But what you guys don't realize is if you have a transformation, if you have a journey you've been on, which, you know, we all do, you can talk about the same story in many different ways. And you can, you know, kind of utilize that story on your page. And that's what's going to get you attention. And that's what's going to get you results ultimately. Because when someone, you know, maybe somebody who sees this post is in that position right now where they're just not feeling good about themselves and they want to change. And it will connect. And she gets private messages, I'm guessing almost daily, from posts like this that will resonate with people. Here's another very powerful one. It's the slide following. This is a gal in the training. Her name's Angel. She has 4 children, and she's just being real here. I mean, this is the ultimate vulnerability. And when she posted this, I'm guessing she was very nervous, you know, maybe just not, you know, not sure, but it got so much engagement. It got people commenting and connecting. And you know what? It probably helped other people and just realize that, you know, we're not alone. We all have scars internally, externally, whatever. And by doing that, you actually create a bond with people. And these weren't just someone making one-word comments like, hey, great job. These were people writing like big, long paragraphs. And that's what you want. You want to start creating buzz on your page and something that, you know, people feel like they start to know you and they feel like you're approachable and you're real. So this is such a great example of that. All right, so number 4, do more videos. Now, it's not a big surprise. You guys have probably heard that before, but Facebook loves video. Their goal is to be the next YouTube. They don't want to, you know, for any website, the goal really is to keep people on as long as possible, especially with social media. They don't want us to leave. What do you guys think keeps people on longer, an image or a 5-minute video? You know, so it's a no-brainer that doing more videos is going to get you more engagement. So you want to get comfortable being on the camera. You want to get comfortable doing more videos. My wife is really good at fitness and working out. She knows a lot about it. So she does a lot of workout videos. Her audiences love it. She gets a massive amount of engagement on her page. I think right now she has 50,000 page likes, but she'll get posts. And I just pointed this out on here, the slide following. You can see an arrow pointing to my dog. The reason I put that in there is you don't need to have, excuse me, perfect looking videos. You don't need to be, you know, like all dolled up and you know, just everything looking perfectly. You just need to be real. And just, if you have something to say, turn the camera on and start talking, because that's what will connect with people. And by the way, live video is something we're going to heavily cover in the next training because it's going to be very important moving forward. Going over here to the next slide, you can see this is just an example from one of her posts. This was probably a week or 2 ago in March. She had, this is just all new inner thigh workout. And one thing you can see from her post down there is that she puts thought behind what she's saying. So she'll post a workout and it's like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, but then she'll actually write up a bio on it. And that's what gets people's attention. All right, so yeah, she did the workout and she gives direction on it. And this thing reached 152,000 people. So it was 3 times her actual amount of likes. That's what you guys want to get. You want to start reaching more people than actually like your page. So that means you're getting organic free traffic out there. And getting something to even go quasi-viral is so powerful. I mean, 1,100 shares, it's her video, it's her write-up. This is just such a great way to get your brand out there and to get free marketing and to really start getting new eyeballs on you, because that's what we want. Here's another example. If you go to Kate Neal Fitness, she was in the previous training, and you know, she was starting out from scratch. She applied a lot of the techniques we teach, and she actually had a post go viral, which is basically 1 million or more. This one reached 10 million people, 10 million views. Actually, the reach was higher, probably 18 million. But it had 10 million views, 318,000 shares, and 42,000 likes. Her page went from 3,000 likes to 118,000, I believe, in like 2 weeks of organic likes. Now, this isn't normal. You can't dial this in and say, oh, I'm going to make this post go viral. But if you start providing the right type of content and really provide value for your audience, and then, yes, you have to learn how to target correctly too to bring in the right people. If you start doing things correctly, and it has a compounding effect, that can really be powerful for your page. And then this is something that a lot of people don't realize. Okay, so you go up here even to my my wife's post, and you can see there's 991. If you click on that button where you see the total amount of likes, like here it would be 42,000. You can actually invite those people to like your page. And you can have yourself do it, or a VA or someone else. But all you have to do is click on that number and invite those people that haven't liked your page to like your page. It's really easy, and it takes, you know, a few minutes, depending on how, I mean, like for Kate, it would have probably taken a few hours. But, you know, it doesn't take that long ultimately to invite these people, and you will get free organic likes from that by them doing it. They'll be interested in what it has, what you have to say, and seeing your posts. You know, if they liked something that you've done, they will probably like other things that you've done. So it's really easy. It's a thing a lot of people don't do, but you can get quite a few more likes by doing that. All right, so I want to talk about developing your brand. You know, you heard me mention it earlier. And again, I said, you know, you're going to have some similarities to what we're seeing here, because I'm going to break down little chunks of good posts, because there's a lot of little things that you need to do to make it really go right for you. And you can see on here, we're doing different things. These people use different colors and different styles, but what they're doing is building their brand so that you recognize it. I mean, you guys know what a can of Coke looks like from across the room. You know, that's how you want it for your style. I want people, when your photos go on someone's timeline, I want them to immediately know when they're either looking at their phone or their computer that it's you. You don't have to shower it with color. You can just use a certain style of font or whatever, but I think it's very important to stay consistent with what you're doing, so you're not mixing it up and trying a new thing every time, because it won't start resonating with people. So really, a brand doesn't have to be coloring in certain, all these different shades, but it really has to be your style. So whatever your style is, make sure you're being consistent with it. And I'm going to show you how these branding concepts match up. So you can see on here, this is Jesse Berrigan. It's very important that you have a nice looking cover photo. We break down cover photos pretty heavily in the training at the beginning, and just giving people some like page critiques and showing people how to do it right. Common mistake I see a lot of coaches making, and a lot of people in general, is they think they have to, well, A, they try to do it themselves if they don't have any graphical skills, and it ends up kind of not looking good. And then B, they try to fit in as much information as they possibly can. First of all, I have zero graphic skills. I am absolutely horrid at graphics and trying to do things on my own. So I outsource stuff, but it's not very expensive. If you go to a site like Fiverr, Fiverr.com, you can find some really good designers. Just type in Facebook cover photos that do it for like 10, 15 bucks. If you see some other coach that has a good looking page, shoot them a message and say, who's your designer? I would love to have a cover photo as nice as yours. but you want it to be elegant. You want it to be simple. You don't need to jam every single space with words. You know, it's just like a banner when you're driving down the highway, you guys. Would you look at something if it was full of 10,000 words and a bunch of pictures, or would you remember something if it had one nice looking picture and just like a tagline? I mean, that's how you want to approach this, and it's an important piece of real estate. So the other concept you need to take from this is see how she's, you know, she has her style here and how it matches up with these these previous pictures. We know this is Jessie Bird. We know, you know, you can just tell her style and how cohesive it is. We'll shoot over here to Jenny. Jenny's style. This is a great looking cover. It's not too much. It's really simple. It's powerful as far as, you know, you can see her eyes. You can clearly see her face. And what I always say is, you know, grab your phone. You don't need to have a super professional camera. Grab your phone, stand by like a wall or something that, you know, like even the wall you see here behind her, something that's not really heavily patterned, something so that a graphics designer can easily crop it out. So, you know, doing it outside and stuff is a little more difficult, but if you can do it on something that's easy for them to crop out, then you can use that photo and put any backgrounds you want on there. One thing you'll see on here is click here to get started, right here. Not enough people use their cover photo as a way to communicate with their audience. You can click here to get started, and then you're going to have that little bio that you can write up. You guys should all have something written up in there talking about, you know, your journey. Talk about where you were, you know, where you are and where you're going. And then give somebody a call to action that's reading that. Hey, message me. Tell me about what's going on in your life or anything. Have an application. I don't care what it is, whatever feels natural to you, but have some type of call to action at the end. Your post should always have questions in them. You want to engage your audience. And I'll get into that in some future slides here. But you really want to have your audience feel like they're a part of your life. And you want them to feel like you do care. You genuinely have to connect with someone to start building a bond and, you know, a relationship and ultimately, you know, communication. And you can see here the cohesiveness with, you know, Jenny's photos. You can tell this is part of her life. She's providing value with food here. She does a lot. She does food posts. She has good animation in her face, and, you know, she's consistent with her style. So we know it's her. Another really fantastic example, and a gal who volunteers a lot of time, is Kelsey Winter. She is very good at branding and very good at just dialing in her audience and connecting with her audience. And she does it by just being real and really giving you daily snapshots. Her page is almost like reality TV in a way, as far as feels like you're just living at her place when you go there and you just know what's going on. We know about her daughter. We know about her fiance. She's just real. If she's had a tough day, she talks about it on there. And she expresses it with her posts, not only what she writes up, but just in her images. They tell a story. And that's what you guys want. And you also can tell on here, you know, her team is important to her. Her family and her community is important to her. It really comes out on her page. I would highly recommend just checking her page out and just seeing kind of how she's doing it. It's a great example of how to do it right. So that is a, you know, and again, you can see here, these 9 photos, how they match up to her cover photo. And there's definitely a connection here. And then she's got her call to action of click here, which will go over to her bio. Okay, so this is something I see a lot of people that are always afraid to do this because, you know, oh, if I share someone else's content, you know, it's going to hurt me. They're going to go over there because they're going to think they're great and I'm not. It's a scarcity mindset if you believe that. There is hundreds and hundreds of millions of people on Facebook. Most of them do not or have not heard of Beachbody. So there's always new people. Ultimately, the success or lack thereof of your page will be directly correlated to the value you provide your audience. So if you're sharing something that's really good, that it can help someone, because there's 3 things that you want to remember about all your posts. They should either inform, educate, or entertain. If they fall under one of those 3 categories, you know, and you're kind of categorizing correctly and really thinking about what you're posting, you're going to provide value for your audience. here's an example on my wife's page. She shared this post, which was like a yoga post with just a little girl in there doing the yoga with her mom. Did really well. Got 800 plus likes, got a lot of comments, got engagement. And again, these were people that she could click on, add them as organic likes later. But more importantly, it's conversations started and people liking this. And do you guys think they're going to remember fit.pl, or do you think they'll remember that Sarah shared this really great looking yoga post or yoga video? Of course, they're going to remember Sarah because they're on Sarah's page. They remember what Sarah did and the value she provided for this. So it's something that you guys all should get in the habit of. I don't want you sharing content every day of something else, but a couple times a week if you find good stuff, and pay attention to what you see on your news feed. This is your guys' job. You can get paid a lot of money to be successful on social media, but you need to pay attention to what other people are doing too. And if you see good posts and things that are that resonate with you, then archive it for later, and then share it, make it as a post. All right, here's another example. Alexis Whalen, slide 22. Alexis Whalen, she is, first of all, another gal who volunteers her time and helps me in the training, and she is so good at social media. She's so good at storytelling and just good at being real and who she is. So she connects with a lot of people, and she's very successful with a like page. And in this case, she just shared something fun. So this would be under, just the fun entertainment type aspects, just about, your thumbprint and how it correlates to your personality. Nothing to do with fitness. It's just something, kind of fun and goofy or whatever. This thing absolutely went viral. And again, it's just more free branding. It's more ways for her to get more exposure and ultimately more conversations. 52 comments on there. And she didn't even know, I believe she didn't even know if she was going to share this or not. So it's just realizing that it's all about, finding ways to connect with your audience. It will make a huge difference, you guys. All right, so slide 23, number 7, asking questions and then doing stuff like comparison photos. All right, so like for a comparison photo, you can see Marissa Myers. Marissa does a really good job as well on social media, and she's very comfortable. She does a lot on camera, and she really puts herself out there. And this one here was just her posting 4 photos and asking which one her audience thought they would pick or which one they would pick. So you're just basically asking for opinions, which people love to give. So if you're giving an opinion of something, it's definitely going to engage your audience, or it will, if you're asking an opinion rather, it will get engagement. And it makes people feel like start to feel like they're a part of your page, so that they're, really starting to feel like they're in your community. And that's what you want. You want people to start feeling like, hey, I'm going to Marissa's page. She's engaging with us. She's asking questions. She wants her opinion. It feels special. So that's what you absolutely want. In this case, for my wife, she just posted something for earrings and a necklace or whatever, just some comparison photos. And you can see these massive comments. She got a ton of comments, and she got people actually giving full opinions. It's just an easy way. It probably took 5 minutes to make this post. And it's such an easy way to get people to engage on your page by just simply asking them opinions. Also, not enough people ask opinions about what you would like to see more of. Do you guys want to see more fitness videos? Do you want to see me talking more about personal development? Do you want to see some more recipes and cooking videos? What else do you guys want to see? By asking your audience, it will help you to get more reach and engagement on your page. And that's actually a perfect transition over to slide number 26 and post number 8, or reason number 8 is you need to post 3 to 5 times per day on your like page. And then you need to read your reports. I'll transition over into the next slide, just showing you an example of how to schedule posts. For my wife, she posts 3 to 5 times a day. But once a week, she sits down and she just blocks off, a certain amount of time, and she just does all of her posts. So she actually thinks about what she wants to say. She doesn't treat it as a job, but she actually puts thought behind it. Every post she has she thought about what she wanted to say. She doesn't outsource her posts. She does it herself. And I think that's important. There's certain things you can't outsource. And if you're trying to get your brand out there if somebody else is doing it, it's not going to work the same. So for stuff like this, when you're thinking about what you want to say and how you want to articulate it, you have to be real and you have to say what this means to you, because that will resonate with people. So you can see here in this example, I think it was a recent screenshot. We took this earlier in the week, but she schedules posts, 19, 20, 30 ahead. She takes the time and, thinks about what she wants to say, but then they get all done. It doesn't take that long. And then I'll go over here to the next slide, slide 29. And then looking at your reach and stuff like that, you can see, kind of keep an eye on that stuff. I don't worry about it on a weekly basis too much. What I really try to go down to is my posts. Now, here's a good tip, you guys. Look and do research on your posts that went back like a few months ago. Of course, you want to pay attention. All right, so I know this did well. Keep an archive of the posts that have done well for you. And then go back and look what did well for you, like in this case now in December or January or even before, and keep an archive of what has done well for you. Why would you want to do that? Because you can reuse your content. Most people don't realize that, and most people do not do that. Reusing content is perfectly okay. You can rehash it, you can retitle it, whatever else. No new person is going to go on your page and look back to see what you were doing in January or 3 or 4 months ago. No one's going to look back and see what was going on then. So reusing content is perfectly okay. And quite often when we are reusing some videos or stuff like that, workout videos, we will get more engagement the second time when we use it, because A, we have more people, but B, a lot of the people before may not have seen it, or they may not even remember. But you know what? It may be, and in marketing, there's this old adage that you have to show somebody 7 times before they, start making a connection with it. So just by seeing these things and, like I said, retitling it, renaming it, you can get more engagement on your page, and you often will beat the first time. All right, number 9. This sounds pretty obvious, and but I needed to cover it because responding to comments, because I see a lot of people, they'll get a lot of comments on certain things, and then people don't respond to them, and you don't acknowledge someone. Kelsey does it really well. My wife does it really well. Just start creating a conversation on your page. So if you get something, like in this case, you can see here, this was Kelsey with her daughter, and talking about, hey, this was a tough day or whatever else. Daughter's crabby. Every mom can relate to having crabby children, of course, stay-at-home moms especially. And she just talked about that, and of course, it got a lot of engagement. Now, what you can do, obviously, is say, hey, blah blah blah. Get a conversation started with Kayla or Katie or whatever else. But then later on, if maybe Kayla has been engaging on Kelsey's page quite often, Kelsey can shoot her a private message and just say, hey, Kayla, thanks for, commenting on my post. Thanks for engaging on there. It means a lot to me. Tell me more about your daughter, or tell me more about what's going on. It gives you an opportunity to start a conversation with someone. And again, that's what we want. Facebook needs to be treated like a big party, not a shopping mall. If you're posting buy this, join this every week, it's going to completely turn people off. But if you're being real, talking about your life, because one thing you're going to see very in common with everything I've shared with you here, just in this short presentation, none of these people talk about Beachbody. Very rarely do they bring up buying anything or any of that stuff. That's all done in private messages. They're just being who they are on their page, and it naturally leads to private conversations in which, if something is that they're speaking with, if something Kelsey's offering or whoever else can help someone with one of the products or joining the team, then it naturally happens. But again, the goal here is just to connect with people and get you more opportunities, and like Lauren said earlier, to take that cold traffic and turn them into a hot lead. So that's what I want to end with on number 10 is everything has to be about value. And I know you've heard me bring that up a lot, but if it's not, if you are just trying to get out as many posts as you can and then working around that, you're approaching your business the wrong way. Social media can be very powerful. You could just have a like page and build a massive team if you do it correctly. But it takes work and it takes time. You have to build a reputation. These are new people. If you just started pounding on someone's doors and asking them to join your next challenge group, how successful do you think you'd be? But if you started really getting to know people and then finding out what their needs are and then connecting the dots that way, that will lead you to more business. And I'll give you some examples here. Again, I talked about showing your face on stuff. 20 exercise benefits, and she talks about these things. This, just doing stuff like this, first of all, taking the time to actually write your words on here when you see a list or something. Lists are great for Facebook, by the way. But if you make a list of stuff like that people will like, if this went viral, they're going to remember it was Sarah. But then also it could lead to things like for, you guys, if you talk about exercise benefits, and then someone could say, you know what, that could lead to private messages, because my wife gets private messages almost daily on people asking about workout tips and things like that. So it's very easy to do, just providing value. In this case, here's just kind of a goofy one, entertaining and informing. Jessie Burr was brushing her teeth with activated charcoal. I shared it in here because I thought it was kind of cool. Of course, this is going to get attention when you see someone putting black gunk all over their teeth. But, it clearly made it whiter. So if somebody wants to try to whiten their teeth, again, it has nothing to do with fitness in this case, but they're going to remember her for this. And they're going to remember, hey, maybe I'll come check back on her page because I just learned a neat little life hack about how to whiten my teeth. And then this is something we shared last night a little bit, and I cover it pretty heavily in the training as far as, what she did beyond this. But she had this post go viral. It was a squat challenge, obviously free. She just did this full squat challenge. It went viral. It reached, I don't even know. It was thousands and thousands of people. 11,000 shares is going to reach a lot of people. And what she did was she transitioned everybody over into a group. And she got quite a few challenge pack sales and a lot of active people in her group by doing that. So it would and this was one organic post that she had. And like I said earlier, you don't know what's going to go viral. You don't know, but if you do things the right way on your like page, you give yourself the opportunity to have a post go viral and give you a lot of free advertising, a lot more eyeballs on your page, and then getting to know you. Slide 20 or 36. This is a recording that we did last night on socialteambuilder.com /live. The webinar's on there last night. We provide a lot of information. There's also free training at the bottom. If you click all the way to the bottom, so it's socialteambuilder.com /live. You can see the webinar we did last night. And then we are currently having a training going on. I'm keeping Friday the training window because everyone's, Lauren's in the training. Basically, do it so. And like I said, there's also, if you click all or scroll all the way to the bottom, there's free training at the bottom too. And there's a lot of really good information on there for people, and you're going to learn a lot. You're going to see a lot of testimonials. And I just wanted to share this one at the end. In January 2016, I was ready to stop coaching and become a discount coach. As a coach, I felt like I was simply turning my wheels in the sand and going nowhere. I couldn't get people to relate to me or to join me. Yes, I signed up some coaches, but once I exhausted the friends and family link, I was at a dead end. Then I heard about this training from my sponsor, Jesse Miller. He sends me this message: you need to do this. It's right up your alley. I drug my feet and finally said, I'll give it a shot. Fast forward to today, I started my like page in mid-January, and I have close to 4,000 likes. I started reaching out to those likes and found an avatar coach that has signed up 3 coaches in her first 2 weeks. I have another 2 close to signing. I am 1 coach away from Diamond. I made a WooFoo, which is like application form, and I've had over 20 people fill it out asking for more information about Beachbody. I saw other people making this type of progress and never understood how they did it. And now I know. A little bit of time and effort and the business can boom. Now I only have thoughts of continuing and making this business soar. So I get messages like this a lot, and I'm not asking for anyone to post this or whatever, but I've got many people message me that says, I was going to quit because I didn't know how to find more people or whatever, because it's a challenge finding new people. You guys, it's very possible with social media, with Facebook, if you do it the right way and, build from the ground up. So I hope people were able to see this. Lauren, are you still there?
Yes. Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. All right. So now I'd be happy to take any questions.
It actually started advancing after a while. So I shared all the PowerPoint with all of our teams, but then when we came back to this, it was going along with the slides. So something kicked in.
Good. Well, at least Google gave us a little bit of love.
Yeah, seriously. I haven't seen any questions from this. I'm scrolling. I'm going to see if anybody from our group has any questions.
I was actually worried too as I was speaking. I'm like, you know what? What if I got kicked off and I've been talking to myself the whole time?
I would have let you know. I don't know that you keep going.
Well, I wasn't looking at Facebook or anything, so I probably wouldn't even have seen it.
Oh, well, then you have a message for me. When you go over there about we can't see your slide scrolling. I don't see any questions on my team page, and I'm not sure about Brandy and Alyssa's. I will say, you guys, I did the 3 free webinars or the modules that are on Jesse's page, like he mentioned, and it was it's stuff that we do, but it wasn't purposeful. And so now at least it's purposeful, and there's a reason behind what we do, and putting our face in there and making sure. I'd gotten away from that. I had been posting scripture and I'd been posting encouragement, but I'd gotten away from my face and being me. And so it just was a good reminder that you're your brand, you're not Beachbody. And you've got to remember to interject yourself in everything you do, because people are going to flock to you, not to the Beachbody brand. They're going to flock to that lifestyle, that story that you're sharing. And I'm big on my story. I've made videos about it. That's a big thing for me, and sharing vulnerability. So my mom is texting me, if you heard that.
That's being real right there. That's
my mom.
Yeah.
And so I really feel like the power of your story is one thing that we have to get over as coaches, and that it's not ugly, that it's not boring, that it's going to affect somebody. And like Jesse said in the beginning, you post stuff not knowing who's going to be out there looking. You post for that person who's waiting to hear that message. You post because, like a lot of these examples he gave, they threw it up there not knowing what was going to happen, and it went viral. So that was interjecting themselves and adding value. And that's a big thing that I want my team to understand is you're not just telling a story, you're telling it to teach, and you're telling it to empathize, and you're telling it to connect. So I'm excited. I signed up for Jesse's training, and I'm super stoked about it because I'm all about learning more. So I hope you guys took notes. I took notes, but I'm going to go back and look at those slides a little bit more because it's just interesting. It's really cool. So I appreciate your time, Jesse. I know it took a little bit longer than we expected.
Oh, that's okay.
But you guys get on his site and watch that webinar from last night. I think in the first 10 minutes, you're going to be like, sold, done, I'm ready to go. I need this in my life. So.
Well, and I hope we have someone like you. This is, and I truly believe this thing has gotten so much bigger than anything I've ever taught, because like I said, I have surrounded myself with people like yourself that genuinely want to help and want to make a difference in other people's lives. And you don't have an agenda. You're doing it because you want to help. And I can already see you doing that in the group already. Oh. So just spreading the positivity and being optimistic, because I do believe this is one of the most, you guys have the perfect company to work with. And you, like she said, you're not an employee of Beachbody. You work with them. You're not working for them. You're not a punch clock, but you have the perfect company with social media. I believe that very much so, because it's a visual company. You guys have work at home videos and you have visual transformations. So there's a reason this marriage of Facebook and Beachbody has worked so well.
Yes. I agree. So thank you so much for your time. If we come up with questions, we'll shoot them at you, and maybe you could just answer them all, but I don't want to take time away from you. So,
No. If you guys want, just go to my Social Team Builder fan page and shoot me a message on there.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.